Okay. Prarthana mantram. Please, one after the other.
Om Shuklam Varadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadhanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighno Pashantaye.
Saraswati
Vasanti ji, again start please, again.
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I don't know what to do about this. Saraswati namastubhyam varade kamarupini vidyarambham karishyami siddhir bhavatu me sada.
येनाक्षर समाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastuma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So, Namaste, Om, and Hari Om to all of you. So, you all realize that you are in your second Sanskritam class for today, because in the Bhashyam class that we had just now, there was a lot of Sanskritam, and that Sanskritam discussion is what we are going to continue right now. So we are going to do Visheshana, Visheshya Bhavaha. Visheshanam is adjective, and Visheshyam is that which is being described. So this relationship is, you've been seeing it from day one. It is just that we don't realize it that way. So when we, naturally, I'm going to contrast it with English only as a segue, only to transfer our discussion to looking at it from the Sanskrita point of view. So in English, I will say, it might sound like I'm repeating what Swamini ji said in class, but here I'm going to say there is a red picture on the blue wall. So when I say there is a red picture on the blue wall, we know that the red is describing the picture and the blue is describing the wall. And if you, in English, if you switched the words around, you know that the wall will become red and the picture will become blue, which is not what was intended. So the same thing we are now going to address from the Sanskrita point of view. So in Sanskritam, the adjective is called Visheshanam. So I'm going to write it just for the sake of emphasis on the pronunciation, because there are multiple shakaras coming into play. So here I am sharing my screen with my notebook. So Visheshanam is going to be, of course, our V. Then the first one is Shankarasha, and then Shanmukhasha, Nam. Visheshanam. And this Visheshanam is the adjective. Okay. Then what is it describing? That is Visheshyam. Okay. So the Visheshyam is that which is being described. Now, in Sanskritam, the Visheshanam and the Visheshyam go hand in hand. So when we did Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye, there the Visheshyam is Vishnum. So the point of that shloka is that one would meditate upon Vishnu. So Vishnu is the object in that verse. Vishnu, so it is in Dvitiya Vibhakti, it is in the second case, singular, Ekavachanam. So all the descriptives for Vishnu are in the same second case, singular, which is Shuklam Baradharam. Shuklam Baradharam. So this is the first descriptive, Vishnu. Then Shashivarnam is also a descriptive for the same Vishnu. This is also in second case. Chaturbhujam, that is also so when you have the ir as a consonant, as the first consonant in a conjunct consonant, the ir will go as a hook on top of the current syllable. Chaturbhujam. So Shashivarnam, Chaturbhujam, and we have more. Prasannavadanam. So we have for this one Vishnum that we have as the Visheshyam, we have Shuklam Baradharam, which is also second case singular, Shashivarnam, second case singular, Chaturbhujam, second case singular, Prasannavadanam, second case singular. So we have that one which is being described by many attributes. And so we have all of them pointing to that same Vishnu. Now, Saraswati, okay, so in Saraswati Namastubhyam, we have Hey Saraswati, that is in Sambodhanam. So, vocative. I can open up another just to do the same. So here it is Hey Saraswati. So this Saraswati is in vocative and this is the Visheshyam. If I were to do the same principle of putting the Visheshyam on the right and the Visheshanam on the left, then Saraswati is the Visheshyam and it is 1, 1. It is 8, 1. It is Sambodhanam. It is in singular. So, Hey Saraswati. Then, Namastubhyam. Tubhyam is not a Visheshanam of Saraswati. we are calling out to her, and then we are saying Namaha Tubhyam. So we take it out of the equation here. Then He Varade. So Varade is a Visheshanam. Varade is also Sambodhanam. Kama Rupini is also Visheshanam. So, He Saraswati, He Varade, He Kama Rupini, Vidyarambham Karishyami, Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. So, whatever be the sequence of words in a verse or in a sentence, it is these attributes that identify the connection. Now, between the previous one and here, Saraswati is Stri. It is a feminine. Varade is also feminine. Kamarupini is also feminine. So Varada, so Saraswati, Varada and Kamarupini are the nominative Prathama Vibhakti forms, and for each of them it is the Sambodhanam, which is what we have here: Saraswati, Varade and Kamarupini. So here,
Vidya, out here, one simple thing, sorry. Varade, that is the 8th vocative. So the main one is, it's Varada, right? Like Lata, Sita. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Not Sita.
Okay.
Not Sita, what is it?
Varada.
Anybody? It's not Sita, what is it? If you
Sita.
it's the pronunciation. Sita.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah.
No, I mean, no, sorry. That we have to get that awareness. If we don't get that awareness, I will continue to sound harsh, and we will continue to be doing math with 1 + 3 is 24. So it is essential for us to know that Ucharanam matters. Sita is a different word. Sita is what you had in mind. Okay. Yes, it is like Sita, Varada. So that is not required. What the ending is does not matter. So Saraswati is an Ikaranta Shabdah. Varada is an Akaranta Shabdah. And Kamarupini is an Ikaranta Shabdah. And if you go back to that other place, Vishnuhu is an Ukaranta Shabdah. And Shuklam Baradharam, so it is an Akaranta Shabdah. Shashivarnam, Akaranta Shabdah. Chaturbhujam, Akaranta Shabdah. And Prasannavadanam is Akaranta Shabdah. But Vishnuhu is an Ukaranta Shabdah. So there is that ending does not matter, but and all of these are Pullingam. Each one of them is Pullingam. So this is the Visheshya Visheshana Bhavaha. So in a Visheshya Visheshana Bhavaha, there are 4 things that need to match. Lingam, 3 things that need to match. Sorry. Okay. So Lingam, Vachanam and Vibhaktihi. So the Lingam, the Vachanam and the Vibhaktihi should match between the Visheshanam and the Visheshyam. And if you understand this much, you have understood the whole world of Visheshya, Visheshana Visheshya Bhavaha. You have understood that relationship between the noun and the adjective. And that was the reason why I still remember that in the last class that we had in the previous semester, just before we took a break, I had asked for a, or just when Swamini ji was on, when we had the other workshops, I had asked for a word when we were in sentence construction. I said, please give me a word so that we can make sentences. And the first word that we got was Sundara. And I could not work with that word Sundara because it's an adjective. It is something we are describing something to be beautiful. But what is it that we are describing as being beautiful? That we still have to decide. So at that time, the word Sundara was not the word to start off with, but now you can use that. Sundaraha Vishnuhu, Sundaram Vishnum. So that way you can now make sentences. You can make the association, and once you know that this is how it works, then you can easily go ahead and do. I will pick. So I'm going to ask this question, and I hope that you all understand my question. I'm going to stop sharing. So my question is, please give me a noun. One of you, please give me a noun. And another of you, please give me an adjective. So we should understand what a noun is and what an adjective is. A noun is something that is being described, and an adjective is something that gives the description. So an adjective is the attributes. So if you say a pen, it is going to be long, black, thick, electronic. So whatever else might be the attributes, all of them are the attributes. But what is being described? A pen is being described. Sadhu. So now please give me a noun. Please give me an object that we are going to try to describe. Can somebody give me an object?
Vriksham.
The tree.
Same.
And what is the Sanskrita word for tree?
Vriksham.
Vrikshaha. Somebody else had said something. Did you give me some other word? Some other noun?
Same thing. I said vriksham, so our thoughts were same.
Okay. Vrikshaha. So you can use this opportunity to be to recognize that there are certain so the lingam is kind of fixed for many nouns, and therefore the vriksha, you should always think of it as a masculine, as a pullinga word. Always think of it as vrikshaha. And okay, so now I would like a descriptive for the vrikshaha.
All
Sundar.
tree.
Somebody who has not yet responded, could you please respond? Vrikshaha.
It is
What are
tall.
the attributes we can? Okay, let me share the screen. We will gather some attributes and then we will start building it. Okay, so I have a vrikshaha here, and please give me descriptives for this vrikshaha.
Can phalam be used?
No, because phalam is not a vrikshaha.
But
Tall
correct?
tree.
it grows on the
Priyaha.
One second, let me answer that question. Phalam is something that grows on a tree.
on the tree. Right.
The tree gives the fruit. So the phalam cannot be a descriptive of the tree.
Okay.
Priyaha. Priyaha.
Oh, Vasanti ji is like Parvati in Kumara Sambhavam. there is an incident where Parvati is nurturing Devadaru Vrikshaha like as though it is her own son.
Oh,
So Vasanti ji refers to the tree as a Priyaha. Okay,
yeah.
very nice.
Because we
dear-
love trees, no? So
Hmm?
we love trees, so we can
Yes.
say Priyaha.
Nishchayena. Okay, so Priyaha, dear.
So I would like to say tall, but I don't know what is the
No. First, either you give me the word tall or you give me the word unnataha. We don't need, if you tell me in English, I will know you didn't know the Sanskrita word. So don't worry about the excuse. Okay, so vrikshaha is a tree and you want to say tall. Anybody,
Yes.
can you give me the, would you know the word for tall?
You said unnataha, so I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know.
Right. So unnataha is tall. Okay, unnataha. Any other descriptive?
Green
Big.
tree. Green tree.
Big tree.
Okay, so you want to say green. I will not agree with you that the tree is green, but I understand what you mean by the green tree. You mean a leafy tree. So we will take it that way.
Vikas, I had a question.
Or
I know that
grow.
you said we cannot use the word phala, but can we use phala purna? Is that an adjective?
No, so you should not, don't give me, well, I shouldn't say don't give me. I'm sounding like a, no, I want you, I'm addressing the thought process, right? So you can't say the word fruit and expect me to understand as filled with fruit. So if you want to say, don't say fruit, I shouldn't say don't say fruit. In place of fruit, we should say fruit bearing tree, or we should say full of fruits. So even in the English that you are thinking, you need to have that thought fully formed.
Right.
So fruit cannot be an adjective, but full of trees or full of fruits or fruit giving can be used. Okay. So now I'm going to not even write this haritaha. So there were a few other attributes given. Green, giving lots of fruits.
How about grow?
Can we-
Rohti.
Giving lots of fruits,
Can
growing.
we say generous, a generous tree?
Generous.
Giving shade can be used.
You mean the giving tree?
Shady.
Yeah.
Giving. So giving fruits, giving many things. Okay. So you understand now the concept of that which is described and that which are used to describe it. This concept has to be clear in our head, because if we don't have this concept clear in our head, we will end up all bundled together and not making sense. Okay, so if I use the same priyaha, so we need to learn a lot more for us to be able to say giving lots of fruits, growing, green, generous, shady. So we'll leave all of that. We understand that all of them are attributes. We now need to find Sanskrita words for them. That is not our work right now. Our work is now to understand this relationship. So you have got vrikshaha, priyaha, and unnataha. So I'm going to use these. Vrikshaha is a pullinga shabdaha, priyaha is pullingam, and unnataha is pullingam. Now, if I were to transfer this to lata, so I'm going to say lata. Lata is a vine, creeper. And this Lata, I'm going to say, is dear, in which case it will become Priya. And this Lata is tall, and it will become Unnata. And everything else can stay the same. So Lata is a creeper. Priya is the same meaning. The meaning does not change. Dear and tall. Somebody is saying something, or is that just some other interruption? Okay, so Priya, Unnata. So Priya, Lata, Unnata, Lata. And you can do the same thing, green, shady, growing, generous, all of those. When we find the Sanskrit words for them, we will have to adjust this accordingly. Now, I'm going to use another udaharanam, another example, and I'm going to use the word Mandiram. Mandiram is temple. Oh, I needed a different color. Okay, so I'm having the word Mandiram. Okay, now what about this Mandiram? This Mandiram is dear, Priyam. And this Mandiram is tall, Unnatam. And what is the gender of this? It is Napunsakam. Okay, so Mandiram is a temple. Priyam is again dear, and Unnatam is tall. And you see how there is a difference in the format of the words because of what it is describing. The same word Priya is now in Pullingam, in Strilingam, and Napunsakalingam. Vrikshaha will not be in all three lingams. Vrikshaha will not change, but that Priya will become Priyaha, Priya, Priyam. So the adjectives are what will change gender, and the noun will retain its description without any option for it. Sadhu? Yes, Harinder ji?
So the word order, will the adjectives be placed before the nouns or after the nouns?
So it depends on what you are doing. If you are describing, which we learned in our Prathama Vibhakti lessons, if you are saying Vrikshaha Priyaha Asti, the tree is dear, you are making that, you are establishing that relationship between the Vrikshaha and the Priyaha. Then you will put the Vrikshaha first and the Priyaha later. But then you are describing to somebody later, and that the dear tree is there. Then you will say Priyaha Vrikshaha Tatra Asti. The dear tree is there. So the whether we will put it in the front or before or after, the word order will depend on how we are making that sentence. And of course, if you put it in a shloka, you can put anything anywhere.
Vidyaji, will it take all the cases, the adjectives can take all.
That is where I was going to go after this particular aspect. Now that we have Priyaha
Vidyaji.
Vrikshaha, Priya Lata, and Priyam Mandiram, then they will all go through all the vibhaktis and all the vachanams.
That means Priyaha will be the masculine. It will take no.
Yeah.
So you have
Priyaha Vrikshaha, Priyau Vrikshau, Priyaha Vrikshaha, Priyam Vriksham, Priyau Vrikshau, Priyan Vrikshan, Priyena Vrikshena, Priyabhyam Vrikshabhyam, Priyaihi Vrikshaihi, Priyaya Vrikshaya, Priyabhyam Vrikshabhyam, Priyebhyah Vrikshebhyah, Priyasya Vrikshasya, no, Priyat Vrikshat, Priyabhyam Vrikshabhyam, Priyebhyah Vrikshebhyah, Priyasya Vrikshasya, Priyayoho Vrikshayoho, Priyanam Vrikshanam, Priye Vrikshe, Priyayoho Vrikshayoho, Priyeshu Vriksheshu. He Priya Vriksha, He Priyau Vrikshau, He Priyaha Vrikshaha.
Oh.
Same thing for Lata.
Lata.
I'll do Unnata. Unnata Lata, Unnate Late, Unnataha Lataha, Unnatam Latam, Unnatau Vidya, Unnate Late, Unnataha Lataha, Unnataya Lataya, Unnatabhyam Latabhyam, Unnatabhihi Latabhihi. Similarly for Mandiram. Unnatam Mandiram, Unnate Mandire, Unnatani Mandirani. Unnatam Mandiram, Unnate Mandire, Unnatani Mandirani. Unnatena Mandirena, Unnatabhyam Mandirabhyam, Unnataihi Mandiraihi. So the Visheshanam and the Visheshyam will go hand in hand through the as they travel through the Vibhakti table.
Vidyaji, I have a question, small question,
Mm-hmm.
which goes back to the first sentence that you made. That is, this tree is dear. Right? You said vriksha, vrikshaha priya asti.
Yeah.
So there, the priyaha, is that a adjective or is that a description? Is that an adjective?
Description and
Adjective is description.
Right. Okay.
So
it
but
is an
that is
adjective.
when you are making the you're establishing the connection between the object and the description.
Okay. Okay.
That is when you are, if you consider the description, if you consider the noun that is being described as, the reason I'm not saying just noun, because in English we tend to use it only for the nominative case, right? But we can say noun for any, so any noun that is being described is like the engine. All the descriptives that are going to it are like carriages attached to that engine. And the engine can be in any vibhakti, the engine can be in any vachanam count, it can be in any lingam.
Okay.
So, Vidyaji, when you say Vishnum, it is actually second case. But we can also put it as Vishnuhu, which is the noun.
No, I don't know what you are asking, what question you are asking. I think what you mean is not, you can't do that in that shloka. Because in that shloka, it has to be Vishnum dhyayet. We need that Vishnum as the object in that, for that verb dhyayet.
But suppose we are just saying Vishnuhu,
yes.
Shuklam
So you
Bara
take away
Dharaha.
Yes, yes.
Like
So you
that.
take away the take it away from the shloka. No more dhyayet. So we forget about the dhyayet. We look only at the noun and its descriptive. Then yes, Vishnuhu. So you will say Shuklambaradharaha, Shashivarnaha, Chaturbhujaha, Prasannavadanaha, Vishnuhu. Shuklambaradharam, Shashivarnam, Chaturbhujam, Prasannavadanam, Vishnum. Shuklambaradharena, Shashivarnena, Chaturbhujena, Prasannavadanena, Vishnuna. I'm only doing in Ekavachanam.
So it depends on like if there's a dhyayet, for example. Sorry, it depends on that sentence, is it? What it will be?
Yes, yes. Correct? In any sentence, we need the Yenakshara samamnayam adhigamya maheshwarat kritsnam vyakaranam proktam tasmai paninaye namaha. There is a meaning conveyed to us through the verse. So namaha and to that paninihi, therefore, because we are doing namaha, paninaye is in chaturthi vibhaktihi. And which paninihi? That paninihi. And because that namaha is associated with paninihi, that will also be in chaturthi. And so tasmai paninaye namaha. And then which panini, all those descriptions are going, the connection is made with yena. By whom? So yena akshara samamnayam maheshwarat adhigamya vyakaranam kritsnam proktam tasmai paninaye namaha. So vyakaranam, kritsnam, proktam are visheshanams to each other. So in that yenakshara samamnayam, we have two sets. I will add that here there are two sets of visheshanams and stuff. One is tasmai and paninaye. Both of them are 4-1. Both of them are pullingam. Then another set of relationships is between kritsnam vyakaranam and proktam. Now, in tasmai paninaye, paninaye is the that which is being described, and tasmai is the adjective. And in kritsnam vyakaranam proktam, the noun is vyakaranam, and the descriptives are kritsnam and proktam. Kritsnam is well done, and proktam is said. So in this case, what would be the vibhakti? All of them are napunsakalinga shabdaha. So all three of them are napum. Okay, so all three are napum. Okay, all three are napum. Now, what is the vibhakti of that? Yena kritsnam vyakaranam proktam asti, asit, whatever. So it is in prathama vibhakti. It is in first case. So all of them are in 1-1. 1-1. 1-1. So so you can have multiple pairings like that for any vibhakti. It need not be that only those words that are in prathama vibhakti need the pairing. Any of them can be paired, and they can be paired in any number. So this relationship is what we have to retain, keep in mind. The relationship is that the lingam, vachanam, and the vibhakti of that which is being described and how it is being described remain aligned. Sadhu? Okay, so for this, we can go over, in your Antoine book, in number 12. So lesson number 12. So we need to, so once we get into the world of adjectives, we need a lot, our vocabulary has to be there. Without the vocabulary, we will find it very difficult to do the adjectives, right? Because not only do we need to know the nouns that are being used, we also need to know what the descriptives are that we are using to describe that particular noun. Sadhu? Okay. So if you, some of the ways in which you can practice for this, so there are a few things to alert you to. This again is not a direct, you can't do a cookie cutter for everything. For example, if you take the word, the gender conversion will come into play, and we are not learning gender conversion yet. So what gender, not what gender, gender we know how it has to be, but how does it, is it going to be a strilingam? For example, if you take a word, cook, pachakaha. So if you take the word cook, pachakaha, what if you have a female cook? You just can't assume the form. The female form for pachakaha is pachika. So how does that female form of the word transform is something that we have to learn. So till such time, we only are going to be working with what we have. So in Antoine, on page number, exercise number 12, they are introducing us to the concept of Visheshana Visheshya Bhavaha, the concept of relationship between the noun and the adjective. But you have got a live, wonderful introduction through the Bhashyam class, where Adi Shankara also is talking about the descriptions, and Swamini ji is also explaining them. And so we now are only looking at the beginnings of it. Yes? Did somebody say something? No? Okay. So so we will only work with what we have. I would not recommend that you cook up your own adjectives for descriptives for various things, mainly because there are a lot of wires that would trip us up. There is a lot of, I don't want to say trap, but there is a lot of landscape that is not familiar. Okay, so much of what we have learnt so far is only a noun form. We've not learnt it as a, so we've learned Madhu, Vari, Hari, Guru. Now, Guru sometimes can be a Visheshanam. For example, if you say Guruhu Adi Shankaraha. So if you say Guruhu Adi Shankaraha, then that Guruhu becomes a Visheshanam to Adi Shankaraha. It becomes an adjective to Adi Shankaraha. But a Guruhu also, in general, you can use it as a noun by itself. But if you try to use the word Unnata, meaning tall, you can't use Unnataha by itself. If you say Unnataha, I understand that you're describing something to be tall, but I don't know what it is that you're describing to be tall. A man, a tree, a mountain, a thought. What is it that you are describing as tall? I don't know. So the even the Guruhu, really, I don't know who the Guru is, but I don't need to know who the Guru is. Right? When you just say Guruhu agacchati, I understand that the Guru is coming. It might be somebody who is the Guru for the person who is talking. But if you say Unnataha agacchati, it will not be meaningful. Tall is coming. What is tall? Unless there is some context, and then we know that somebody has been dubbed as Unnataha. And so we don't need that noun that it is describing. Sadhu. So Madhu, honey, Vari, water, or other words that we have, Mala. So all of these many based on circumstances will be used as either the noun or as the adjective. So in the sense of when you are sitting on the marriage pandal, the marriage dais, whatever, on the seat, and the priest says, bring the mala, bring the garland. At that time, are you going to sit there and wonder which garland is he talking about? You know that at that time when he says bring the garland, it is the flower garland, which is going to immediately now be used for exchange between the groom and the bride. So other than that, or if the mother tells the daughter, for today's dress, what mala are you going to wear? We know that at that time, it is going to be some fancy necklace or chain that she's going to wear to coordinate with her clothes. And we are not talking about the floral garland of the wedding stage. So those things will have to will come into play when we analyze, and which is the reason why that big discussion is going on in the Bhashyam class, because not only this language part of it has to be understood, the concept of what is being described and what is describing also has to be understood, so that we are able to separate and identify, okay, this is a descriptive of something, or this is itself the thing. Okay. All right. So they have given us a few words here as adjectives. Andha is blind. So they have also told you, when they give you the word andha, it's okay if you don't have the material, you can listen. If you have the material, fine. If you don't have the material now, you don't have to look for it. And I'm not also sharing it on the screen, not required because I'm just using this to discuss. Okay, so now we have a few words that they have given here. Andha, udara, without any ending. And you know that you can't use words without any ending. So before you start using it, you have to fill it with what the appropriate lingam is and then use it. So we have a bunch of words there, andha, and they have also told you adjectives forming their feminine in a and the neuter So andha is a male, andha is a female, and andham is a neuter gender. So you need that additional piece of information before you can start doing exercises. Sadhu, so we'll try to do one participatory exercise. I will read out a word from here. You just have to, we are doing the a, andha, andha, andham. If I say udara, udaraha, udara, udaram. So we just have to do that kind of conversion, and we will go over the meaning after you make the conversion. So first, don't worry about the meaning, just do a conversion and let me know. Sadhu, you have a question, Sharmila ji?
No.
So I would like to go one by one. Sharmila ji, you please get started, and Vasanti ji, you please keep your microphone on, so it will be. So Sharmila ji, can you please do for kana?
Kanaha, kana, kanam.
Kanaha is a one-eyed person. Okay, then Joshi ji, kushala.
Kusalaha, kusalo, kusalaha.
No, we are not doing the vachanam change. You have to do in all the three lingams. Kushalaha, kushala, kushalam. Right? Kushalaha. So once you, so now what are we doing? We are generating the word for pullingam, for strilingam, for napunsakalingam. Then kushalaha in turn will be kushalaha, kushala, kushala, kushalaha, kushalau, kushalaha, kushalam, kushalau, kushalan, etc. Kushala will be kushala, kushale, kushalaha, kushalam, kushale, kushalaha. That's the next step. Kushalam, kushale, kushalani, kushalam, kushale, kushalani. But right now we are getting the proof of existence for the prathama vibhaktihi ekavachanam, singular nominative case. So Joshi ji, I'll give you another. Please do for kritrima.
Kritrimaha, kutrima, mala, trima, kutrimam.
Kritrimam means artificial. So kritrimaha alankaraha, a decoration which is very artificial. Then kritrima lata, a fake
Wine.
Wine. And kritrimam sasyam or kritrimam phalam, a fake fruit. Sadhu? Okay. Then Ildurkar Bhaskar Mahodaya ji, please do kripana.
Kripanaha, kripana, kripanam.
Kripanaha is a miser. Here they've said wretched person. A miser is also a kripanaha. Raja Ramji, kshudra.
Shudraha, shudraha, shudram.
No, please do again.
Shudraha, Shudraha, Shudra,
Why?
Shudra, Shudram.
Kshudraha, Kshudra, Kshudram. Kshudraha is a small or a mean person, meaning not very significant.
Okay.
So, Kshudraha, Kshudra, Kshudram. Okay. Khanja, Vasanti ji.
Khanjaha, Khanja, Khanjam.
Khanjaha is a lame person. Another word for lame is Panguhu. Right? Panguhu. But there we know it as a pullinga word. We know that as a male word. Here we know that here we know it as an adjective. Khanjaha. Okay. Lalita ji, Tivra.
Tivraha, Tivra, Tivram.
Tivra is very sharp, acute. So, Tivram chintayati. His thinking is Tivram chintanam. The thought is sharp. The thinking is sharp. Lalita Bhaskar ji, Durlabha.
Durlabha, Durlabha, Durlabham.
That which is difficult to obtain. Okay. Nava, Kate ji.
Navaha, Nava, Navam.
What happened yesterday? Day before? Navam Varsham. Varsham is a year. Navam Varsham. It was the lunar new year. So, if you just use it as a compound word, we say Navavarsham. But if you used it as a Visheshanam and a Visheshyam, it would be Navam Varsham. A new year. Okay. Then, Harinder ji, Nitya.
Nityaha, Nitya, Nityam.
Nityaha Abhyasaha. This practice is to be done regularly. Then Nityam Karma. This karma is Nityam. And Nitya Puja. The puja is done regularly. Okay. Gordon ji, please do Prasanna.
Prasannaha, Prasanna, Prasannam.
So, which is what we have, Prasanna Vadanam. So, he whose face is Prasannam, he whose Vadanam is Prasannam. So, a pleasant. So, Prasannaha, Prasanna, Prasannam. Okay. Tanuja ji. Yes.
So, Vadanam, we are not saying Prasannam.
We are using it as a compound word.
Okay.
Okay. Tanuja ji, Pina.
Pinaha, Pina, Pinam.
No, please do that again.
Pinaha, Pina, Pinam.
I don't know why you are elongating the E. Are you doing it because you are thinking?
No, because you corrected me so I'm trying to.
Okay, all of that is fine, but you forgot my request for the na ending, right? Pina.
Okay.
So you have to do that long both for the E, the A, the U, wherever it is required.
Okay.
Very nice. So could you do that again, please?
Okay. Pinaha, Pina, Pinam.
Okay. I will just take it that you are speaking slowly because you are taking longer. It need not be that long, but if if you speak slowly, that length is needed. Otherwise, Pina, 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 Pinam. It is 2 counts. It is twice as long as the short one. The long is twice as long as the short one. Okay, very nice.
Thank you.
Bhavani ji, so Pina means fat. You have encountered it in the Vedanta class. Pinaha Devadattaha Ratrau na bhunte. The fat Devadatta does not eat during daytime. No, Divana bhunte. He doesn't eat during daytime. So there you encountered that word Pinaha. Bhavani ji, Mrita.
Mritaha, Mritva, Mritam.
Why you inserted a va in between?
Mritaha, Mrita, Mritam.
So Mritva means it's something else. It is likely some other word. So Mritaha is dead. So Mritaha Sarpaha, the dead snake. And Mrita Sarpi, probably a female snake. Well, I don't know if there's snake gender in the snake. So I will go off to Mrita Aja, a goat, or Mritam Mritam Sasyam, a dead plant. Sasyam is a plant. Okay. Then Amalaji, Vridha.
Vridha, Vridha, Vridham.
Old. Maithili ji, did you do?
Not yet.
Maithili ji, Vyadhita.
Vyaditaha, Vyadita, Vyaditam.
What is wrong? Anybody?
Mahaprana. Yeah.
Mahaprana. Okay.
Can you do that again?
Vyaditaha.
Where is the Mahaprana? I will say again, you please listen. Vyadhitaha.
Vyaditaha. Vyaditha. Vyadhitam.
Yes, the Mahaprana is in the dhi. So Vyadhitaha, Vyadhita, Vyadhitam. It is one who is sick. Vyadhihi is sickness and Vyadhitaha is one who has sickness. Okay. Niyati ji, please do Hata.
Hata, Hata, sorry, Hata, Hata, Hatam.
No, can you do that again?
Hataha, Hata, Hatam.
Hataha, Hata, Hatam. Samichinam. One who is killed. Hataha is one who is killed. So Mritaha means one who died naturally. Hataha means one who was killed. Okay. So let us do, I have 2 more. I will introduce you to the next set that we have here. It is ending in E or U or R, which means, so Sugandhi is good smelling, sweet smelling. So Sugandhihi will be the Pullinga form. The Strilingam is also probably Sugandhi, or it can be Sugandhihi, and Napunsakalingam is Sugandhi. So it will be Sugandhihi, Sugandhi, Sugandhi. For the Napunsakalinga, you should not put You should remember Vari. Right? Vari, Varini, Varini, Sugandhi, Sugandhini, Sugandhini. So you'll say Sugandhi Vari, Sugandhini Varini, Sugandhini Varini. Fragrant water, 2 fragrant waters, many fragrant waters. Okay.
Could you repeat them in all different genders again, Vidyaji?
Okay, so for Pullingam, it will be like Harihi. For Strilingam, it can either be like Harihi, it can either be like Matihi, or it can be like Nadi. And for Napunsakalingam, it will be like Vari.
Okay, thank you.
So, Jyoti ji, please do for Surabhi.
Surabhihi, Surabhi or Surabhihi, and Surabhi.
I am not happy with the Ikaraha, so please do again, please.
Okay, Surabhi.
No, do all the 3.
Okay, Surabhi, Surabhi, Surabhi or Surabhihi and Surabhi.
Okay, when you do it for the Strilingam, it sounds like you are of 2 minds. I mean, you said 2 forms. The first form is fine, the Dirgha is fine. But when you did it like Matihi, it sounded like you were not fully committed to the Hrasva Ikaraha. It sounded a little longer than the Hrasva. It didn't sound long enough for a Dirgha. So, Surabhihi, that for your own metrics, you keep the long, you keep the short in a particular format, keep the long as twice that much. So, Surabhihi. Right? So it won't be Surabhihi.
Okay.
It was in between. Okay. Samichinam.
Vidyaji, did you say Surabhi is like Vari?
Surabhi, yes.
Then where is the Bhihika? Vari will be Vari, Varini.
No. She was doing the 2 options for the Strilingam. Right? Either Surabhi or Surabhihi.
But Vari has no 2 options.
That is Napunsakalingam. She did for Strilingam the 2 options.
So which word can we use for Strilingam?
Either.
Either means Vari
either
or
Surabhihi. No. You can either Matihi or Nadi.
Oh.
For Strilingam, you can do either Matihi or Nadi. Actually, you have to be more specific. I don't know why they have not given you that specificity, and because of that, I'm giving you both the options. Surabhihi, Surabhi.
So when we look at these words, how do we know whether it is Pullingam or Strilingam?
So you can't tell. You need to know what it is describing, and then you will be able to tell whether it has to be in. So that is why the assignment you have on page for homework, we have to do page number exercise 12. We have to do 12 sentences, translate from Sanskritam to English. And then for exercise number 3, Roman letter 3, there are you have to match the adjective to the noun that it is describing. So there you will have to look at the lingam and then do the matching. And then you also have to translate 12 sentences from English to Sanskritam from number 4. We have Niyati ji and Pushpa ji. So Niyati ji, can you please do for Shuchi? So Surabhi means fragrant. Surabhi is also fragrant. And Niyati ji, Shuchi.
can we convert
You have to convert it into pullingam, strilingam, and napunsakalingam.
so for uh
Shuchihi,
Suchihi would be
pullingam.
and feminine will also be Shuchihi.
In feminine, you'll have both the shuchihi and the shuchi.
Okay. So Shuchihi, and then for neuter again Shuchi.
No visarga for the dirgha.
Okay. No visarga for the dirgha. Okay. So
Okay.
Shuchi or Shuchihi. No, sorry, wait. Shuchiha or Shuchi.
Okay. Pullingam, shuchihi.
Okay.
Strilingam, shuchihi. If you want, you forget the other option, dirgha. You just do shuchihi, and then napunsakalingam is shuchi. Yes, Niyati ji? Okay. Pushpa ji, shuchi means pure. Pushpa ji, please do sadhu.
Sadhu. Sadhu.
Okay, this is an and napunsakalingam will be just sadhu. So for the ukaranta, you know, I always use sadhu. I use it in the napunsakalingam for good. Okay. Sadhuhu is a person who is good. Sadhuhu purushaha. You can also say sadhuhu like dhenuhu, sadhuhu mahila, a good woman, and sadhu vastram, a good cloth. Sadhu will be sadhuhu, sadhuhu, sadhu. I'll give you one more. You please ashu.
Ashu. Ashuhu. Ashu.
No. So I'm saying ashu. So what is it in pullingam?
Ashuhu.
In strilingam?
Ashu.
No, strilingam is also ashuhu, like dhenuhu.
Okay.
And napunsakalingam?
Dhenu is dhenavaha, no?
That's bahuvachanam. Dhenuhu, dhenu, dhenavaha. That's bahuvachanam.
So we are doing
Ekavachanam.
sadhu is ekavachanam, sadhu.
No. Pullingam sadhuhu, strilingam sadhuhu, napunsakalingam sadhu.
How do we come to that? I'm sorry. I'm not understanding.
No, for ukaranta, you are just adding the, so for pullingam, it is clear. It is sadhuhu, correct? Okay,
Yeah.
what is it for strilingam is the question. Napunsakalingam is also clear. We know madhu, madhuni, madhuni. So napunsakalingam is also clear. Now, what is left is strilingam. What is it going to be for strilingam? Strilingam, you have to do like dhenuhu. So sadhuhu. Yes? Okay. So Pushpaji, you please do for something else again. You please do for, I lost my page. Ekakshanam. You please do for charu.
Charu. Charu.
No. Pullingam is what?
Charuhu.
Okay. Strilingam.
Char. Is it same as charuhu?
Yes. Yep. And then napunsakalingam.
Charu.
No. Only charu. Like madhu.
Charu. Okay.
So charuhu, charu. Sadhu. So Charu means beautiful, and the other one we did was Ashu is swift or immediate, without any delay. Okay, so that is what I said is the homework. The homework is 12 sentences translation Sanskritam to English, 12 sentences English to Sanskritam, and match the noun to the verb. Vasanti ji is very amused. But
because I'm just wondering, in 1 week, I don't know how to, it will, how many.
No, don't worry about the work. You understand the material, you have fun, enjoy learning the material, and then whether you do the homework or not, it will happen automatically. Because you're in the process of doing those sentences, you're going to have your vocabulary expanded. So enjoy the process and the homework will get done.
Thank you.
All right. Any prashna hai?
No.
Okay. Shanti mantram.
Excellent class. Thank you, Ji.
Yeah, agree. Today understood. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Vidya ji. Very nice.
Shanti mantram. Okay, I will do. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samichinam.
Thank
All
you very
right.
much.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, Vidya.